We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It's James Szymanski for the Tar Heels and Thayer Atkins for the Blue Devils. Atkins 18-8 overall this year, much improved and giving Duke some depth in their lineup. The lighter weights for the Blue Devils have improved quite a bit. Szymanski struggling a bit for the Tar Heels, 7-12 on the season. And there we have the opening whistle here in period number 1 of bout number 1 between Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah, so Thayer is he's having his best year so far. He's really putting a lot of time in. He's gotten a lot better, and it's showing out on the mat. And these lighter weights, we're going to see a lot of motion, a lot of activity. Early on, they're going to be doing a lot of hand fighting, as we're seeing here. Wrestlers, they hand fight. It might seem like they're not doing a whole lot, but they're really feeling each other out, trying to get an advantageous position. We see Thayer here worked into a snap down. He's in a front headlock right now. What he need? Well, he was looking for that ankle, grab the ankle and do a go behind, but Szymanski was able to fight the hand down, come out of it. Goes for a shot there, stuffs it. Shot of his own.
Yeah, some good back and forth action here in the first period. Coach Scott saying that Szymanski progressing steadily, ton of pride in that North Carolina singlet. And Thayer Atkins really putting the work in over the summer, getting stronger, becoming more confident in his technique. And Coach Lamb thinks he has an opportunity to perhaps qualify for nationals this year, which would be a really nice bonus for the Blue Devils at that weight.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of the work that he's been doing with the new coach, Brandon Nelson, he's a smaller coach, has been paying off. See, Szymanski got a single leg there, and he switched off to double leg. And once you get both legs, it's a 2-point takedown. Now Thayer gets the escape, and you saw the referee swiping. If the wrestler that's on top drops down to the legs and does not progress towards the trunk or the body, they will start counting. After 5 swipes, that's a stalling call.
2-1 the score here in the first period. Szymanski 4-7 in duels. Atkins 7-3. So perhaps an opportunity. I think certainly for the Tar Heels, if they were to get the victory at this weight, that would be a really good start for them tonight.
Yeah, it would. Both teams want the first win, but for Carolina, that would help them out a lot here. Thayer in on a nice knee pull, doubles off, gets the takedown here. Thayer, his riding game has gotten a lot better this year. Last year, he struggled a little bit to keep guys down. This year, look for him to be actively working towards getting some back points here when he's on top. He's been working, he's chopping the arm, and he's got a tight waist there, and he's been working that a lot in practice, getting better at it. He's going for the arm bar here to try and get tilt. And the way that the scoring works now is that you can get up to 4 near fall points if you break the 90-degree plane and hold them there for 4 seconds.
Atkins racking up the riding time, 32 seconds, I should say. Counting the period runs out, so perhaps a little bit of a save by the bell situation there for Szymanski. We'll see. Looks like Atkins will have the call. And we'll start down, so an opportunity perhaps for the escape. Obviously, Szymanski will look to work down that riding time. For those new to the sport, a minute of accrued riding time at the end of the match will be a point for whichever wrestler owns that riding time. So nobody owns that point just yet. 2 minutes on the clock, and we're starting the second period.
Yeah, and riding time is huge. Riding time can make or break a match. So a lot of wrestlers keep an eye on that, because at the end of the match, you could be tied, and if that guy has riding time, you lose. And Thayer here, he's tripod up, he's got the hand, he got the escape. Now, Thayer's the second, third periods. This is where Thayer has begun to excel. His conditioning, his endurance is phenomenal, and this is where he has been making a lot of his gains and his progress in towards winning those close matches. He gets in here on a nice head inside single. He's going to look to circle towards the other guy's leg, dump him down onto his hip, and get Szymanski's right leg so that he can get both legs and get the 2-point takedown as he does there.
There is the takedown, so it's 6-2 now in favor of Thayer Atkins with about a minute to go in the second period. Szymanski had worked that riding time down considerably to about 8 seconds, but the clock is ticking forward once again for Atkins. Leads by 4 with under a minute to go in the second, and is back near 30 seconds of riding time.
And he's back on that tight waist. Szymanski's got wrist control, and he's out there.
Yeah, so Szymanski gets the escape, and Atkins now leading 6-3. I think maybe more than in a lot of matches. You just look down on paper, right? And it's all settled on the mat, and I understand that. But if you look on paper, this could easily be a duel in which both teams win 5 bouts. So the bonus points could become that much more critical. So you're in a situation 6-3. Atkins is a takedown away from inching closer to perhaps a major and an additional team point. But a lot of wrestling left to go here. Under 10 seconds in the second period.
Yeah, and in the event of a tie, they have tiebreaker criteria. So anytime you can get bonus points or get a pin or something, majors, techs, winning more matches overall, that factors into the tiebreaker criteria, which can be huge. Szymanski chose down for the third period, so Thayer's going to look to work that riding time back up closer to that 1 minute. And he is going, look for him to not just ride this period out, but look for that near fall, because if he can get the riding time and some near fall, he could get the major. Szymanski's able to escape there.
And he did so with 8 seconds to spare in terms of riding time. So well done there by Szymanski. 6-4 is the score. This one's still very much up for grabs. Szymanski a takedown away from tying it with under 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, both of these guys, they're going to be fighting hard this third period. Szymanski.
As a stalemate is called by the official.
He's telling him to just stay active on your feet. Both guys had, finger locked on the other guy, so they're in on a deep shot. Szymanski sprawls out. Thayer backed out, came up. Szymanski did a bit of a half of a shot fake there.
1 minute to go here in the third period. A 2-point advantage for Thayer Atkins here at 125. First bout of the evening between Duke and North Carolina. Some of the nation's best wrestlers still to come. That was a dangerous situation as Atkins is forced near the edge of the mat.
That's right, yeah. And in that instance, activity took them out of bounds. If one wrestler were to back out of bounds or purposefully run the other guy out of bounds, he will get hit for a stall call, which stall calls can really come back to bite you in the butt and make or break matches here.
Another stalemate is called 30 seconds ago. Neither wrestler's been called for stalling, at least that I noticed thus far.
Not so far.
And it's 2 before a point is awarded, so both of them have, I guess, a stall to spare, if you will. Under 20 seconds to go. Szymanski obviously looking for the takedown.
There's the stall warning on Thayer.
Thayer is called for the stall. You can see him kind of backing away just a bit. 10 seconds to go.
Szymanski's really fighting hard, hand fighting a lot. Thayer is hand fighting as well, looking to stay active. Got these 2 seconds left, and Thayer backed out of bounds, so he was hit for the stall call again, giving Szymanski the 1 point.
And that is going to do it in the first bout of the evening. The Blue Devils and Thayer Atkins will earn 3 team points after a victory at 125, and I guess you could say on paper that was probably the result
to come out on top over him.
All right, coming up next is 133, Nicholas Lirette for North Carolina. Cole Baumgartner for the Blue Devils. Baumgartner transferred from Missouri, and Coach Glenn Lanham, when asked to describe his style, called it funky.
Yeah.
He gets himself in some really weird spots, gets his opponents in some really weird spots, and Lirette actually hurt his elbow in the team's last duel against Virginia. Coach Scott electing to basically end that match, but nothing too serious, and he's able to get back out on the mat tonight for this big-time duel between arch rivals.
That's right, yeah. They're going to want every guy that they can get out on the mat to come out for this duel, just because it's such a big match, such a big rivalry. And as you can see, it doesn't matter who's ranked what. Anything can happen in this match. Anything can happen any Duke UNC rivalry. But Cole Baumgartner, very long and lanky for his weight class, so he does get into a lot of awkward positions, and he tends to come out on top in the majority of them. He uses his length for an advantage, but Lirette was able to get the takedown, and Baumgartner does a Granby roll, and Lirette's able to follow to not give up the escape or reversal. Baumgartner working. He's got that leg, and he's stepping over. If he can get his arm through the body, he gets the escape there.
So a takedown for Lirette and an escape for Baumgartner. Lirette coming into the bout 5-9 on the season, 4-5 in duels. Baumgartner 17-9 overall, 7-4 in duels. About 45 to go in the first period, and Lirette, the early 2-1 lead. There you see the team score 3-0 in favor of the Blue Devils.
Cole's been he's been big for Duke. He's been the deciding factor in a couple of our close matches, but this match here, anything can happen. So both these guys are going to have to fight hard and wrestle at their best tonight.
Coach Scott saying about Lirette, he's a guy that's beaten top 15 guys and lost to guys outside of the top 50. The consistency has really been his issue, but he's a very talented wrestler.
And he's in on another deep shot here. If he can get both legs, he elects to come out the back door here. Baumgartner is good in this position. He scrambles really well. He's like a spider.
You can see how long his limbs are. Even when Lirette was in on that deep shot, Baumgartner just kind of reached around on the other side and grabbed his legs.
Yeah. He uses his leverage really well. Right here, both guys have a leg, so there's no takedown yet. In this position, it's usually the guy who comes up gets the takedown, and Cole gets it there. Now, he's got the cradle locked up, so he's going to try and run him down to his stomach and then crank him over that side to get the guy into his back. He's got the leg hooked so he can't kick or fight. He's got the 4 count here, so he does have 4 near fall points. The only issue was his arm was underneath Lirette's shoulder, so he didn't get the pin, but he got the 4, putting him up by 5.
Yeah, 4 near fall points for Baumgartner, so a big time comeback here at the end of the first period. Gets the takedown, the 4 near fall points after Lirette had the first takedown of the bout. So we start the second period, 7-2 the score. Baumgartner wants to start down. Riding time, 7 seconds in favor of Baumgartner. And suddenly a bout in which Lirette had taken a 2-0 lead. Now Baumgartner in a situation where he could be looking for some bonus points for the Blue Devils.
That's right. And here Lirette elected to let him up so that he can try to get another takedown. And because Baumgartner, like we said, he's funky, and he is a very hard wrestler to hold down. He does a lot of rolls and Granby rolls and just different funk moves that you don't see coming. Lirette takes a shot. Cole Baumgartner gets ahead in the hole, comes around, gets the 2 there on the edge of the mat.
So now, Baumgartner up by 8. He's in the position for a major at this point. A lot still to be decided in this bout, but riding time starting to pile up as well. Over 20 seconds for Baumgartner, and Lirette is going to have to do something here. Not only perhaps escape, but also have to do some damage on offense. Got to get his offense going here a little bit late in the second and on into the third.
That's right, and Baumgartner is tough on top. His long, lanky arms and legs he uses to throw legs in, wrap the other guy's legs up, and he does well riding, and he can get some near fall points. Bonus points, like we said, are going to be big in this match. Any extra points you can get help in the end. He throws both legs in here, and what he's doing is he's putting a lot of pressure on Lirette with his hips into Lirette's lower back there. He's cranking on the arm now. It's called an arm bar. A lot of times you get the arm bar in, you can go for that other wrist, or you can try to get the double arm bar, run them over, stack them up onto their shoulders and get the pin there. He's going for an arm bar and a hook on the opposite side to try and get the tilt.
Riding time up over a minute for Baumgartner, so in essence a 9-point lead right now with under 25 seconds to go in the second period.
Lirette needs to be very active down here because he can get dinged for stalling, if you're not actively working for that escape. He's done well so far. And Cole Baumgartner gets the cradle again, breaks him down. Now he's going to work to run him back over.
A similar move that he had gotten the 4 near fall points on before. Didn't quite execute quite as well this time around, but Baumgartner rides out the rest of the period. He's got a minute 40 of riding time heading into the third. Very strong position for the transfer from Missouri. Should be noted that Lirette is a true freshman. It is so hard to compete at the Division I level, at the ACC level as a true freshman. So a really solid effort thus far for him this year, and really good things to come in the years to come.
That's right, and he's a great wrestler now. He will develop to be an awesome wrestler, I bet, under Coleman Scott. Coleman Scott himself was a smaller weight guy, and he ended up being a bronze medalist in the Olympics and a national champion for Oklahoma State.
I believe Coach Scott wrestled 133 at Oklahoma State.
He was very similar to Cole Baumgartner in body type, not really funk. He was very tall, cut a lot of weight, but he's freakishly strong. Cole Baumgartner is able to get the takedown there, so he's got a leg cradle. Lirette's able to roll through. That's the funk that we're talking about there.
So we'll see now as Baumgartner is up 12-2. Again, in essence, 13-2.
He gets the cradle there. He faked letting Lirette up as if he was going to, let him up, give him escape, and drop back down into that cradle. A little bit of deception here. Now he's got the 4 count for near fall.
So it's 4 again for Baumgartner. 16-2 the score. Perhaps looking for the tech here in the third period. 30 seconds to go.
If riding time stands, he has the tech fall right now, and it does. He's locked it up.
Yep. So that'll be a major bonus point situation for the Blue Devils.
And Lirette just got dinged for stalling, laying down on his stomach.
What an effort by Cole Baumgartner. This was a match that on paper the Blue Devils were probably, quote, supposed to win tonight if they were going to try to take this duel. But it's one thing to win it. It's another thing to win it by technical fall. It's 5 points for Duke in terms of the team score. So an 8-0 lead after 2 bouts. Again, don't get caught up in the total score just yet, because these were matches, these were bouts that Duke was supposed to win. But top of the show, that's, I think, where this was really going to be decided.
Yeah, that's really awesome for Baumgartner to come in for his first Duke-UNC rivalry duel and blow it out like that. Get a tech fall.
All right, so we talked about how on paper the Blue Devils were probably supposed to win the first 2 bouts. This is one that you would chalk up for North Carolina. Joey Ward, number 7 in the country.
Yeah,
one of the only times he's really lost to somebody ranked lower than him in their last bout, in their last duel against Virginia. But he's going up against Zach Finesilver, who was an All-American as a freshman at this weight, has tailed off a bit since. So this should be a really interesting match.
Yeah, Zach has improved a ton, but Ward he's a monster out there on the mat. He's in on a head inside single. He comes out the back door. He's got the leg hooked, so he's going to try and get around. So there's 2 ways you can score there. Finesilver fighting, turning it into a scramble.
That's well done by Finesilver thus far. That looked for all the world like it was going to be a takedown for Ward and 2 points.
That's right, and Finesilver turning facing here. Still scrambling. This is quite the scramble he got going, and Ward looks like he's got the 2 there. But that was a valiant effort for Finesilver. Using a bit of funk. He's out. That's right.
Does get the quick escape. Not a whole lot of riding time there, but Ward, the 2-1 lead, just about a minute gone here in the first period at 1:41.
Zach's been working a lot with his brother. That he's taking the year off from competing and looking to put on some muscle and maybe compete internationally. But he's been working a lot with him, and he's been improving a ton with Coach Lanham and Coach Whistle, and then Coach Nelson. They've really taken to him and pushed him, and he works very hard in the room, outside the room. He's one of the kind of guys who, if he wins a match or loses a match, he's running sprints after because he's constantly trying to improve and make himself better. He gets in on a nice shot. That was a shot from open space. Those shots are very difficult to land, but he's able to get it.
2-1 the score. Mitch Finesilver was the brother that you were referring to. They're twins. 2 twins already here at Duke. 2 more on the way next year. A total of 4 Finesilvers will be on the roster next season for the Blue Devils.
Yeah,
Mitch has moved up a couple of weights, actually. So even though they're twin brothers, they wrestle at very different weights.
That's right, yeah. Mitch he's looking to put on some more muscle and get bigger. Zach tends to be on the lean side, but he's still very strong. He's in great shape. As you can see, he's wrestling a tough match here.
So you got a little bit of a cut on the forehead of Zach Finesilver. So he will be tended to by the training staff.
That's Devin. She's the best. She's the best at her job.
Coach Whistle take an opportunity to talk to Finesilver as he is tended to. Joey Ward consulting with his coaches as well. This becomes a really big match, particularly for North Carolina. So Duke sort of holds serve at 25 and 33. Now it's Carolina's turn to answer at 41.
Yeah, and Zach's the kind of guy who he will not give up ever in this match. And Joey Ward, same mentality. Both guys will fight. They'll grit it out to the very end. So this match is shaping up to be one of those types of matches with a really close score here, 2-1.
Ward's 21-4 on the year, 10-2 in duels. 5 major decisions and 2 techs this year for Ward. Zach Finesilver, 14-9 overall, 7-4 in duels. As you get a nice, good look at the cut on Finesilver's forehead.
And it's not too big, so might get a little bit of blood, but shouldn't play a factor in the match.
Under 30 seconds to go in the first period. 2-1 the score in favor of Joey Ward, the 7th-ranked 141-pounder in America.
Joey Ward, he's really improved a ton under Coleman Scott. Coleman Scott he's a phenomenal wrestler and a phenomenal coach. He's really brought the UNC program up another level.
A contact lens maybe came out for Ward.
Looks like
Picks out what he was trying to hold out to the referee.
Finesilver defers. Ward goes down.
Just 7 seconds of riding time for Ward. Opportunity for Ward to get the escape. Chance for Finesilver to get riding time in his favor.
Finesilver is very tough on top, but Ward's one of those guys that's hard to hold down.
What makes a guy tough to hold down? What makes a guy good on top? What do you look for? What do you try to teach?
So when you're on bottom, the biggest thing is hand control. If you can control a hand, the guy's only got one hand on you. It's very hard to hold someone down with one arm. When you're on top, the first thing that you want to do is stop their first move. If you can stop their first move, that gives you the advantage. Then you want to get a hand control of your own and break the guy down to his stomach, because once you get a guy down on his stomach, you can put your weight on him, make him hold your weight, and trying to base up from being flattened out like a pancake and someone putting their whole body weight on you is really tough.
It almost seems like the first 5 seconds can really determine how that goes.
Yeah, first 5 seconds on every whistle start is crucial.
Got 1 minute and 5 seconds here in the second period. 3-1 the score in favor of Joey Ward.
Finesilver in on a deep shot here. Ward able to come through and grab that ankle, so he's going to try and circle towards Finesilver. They get a stalemate here. So he would try to circle towards Finesilver's left leg, break him down to his hip, and spin behind to get the 2. Finesilver trying to grab the leg that he has and pull it in, because you don't want to get extended with your arms above your head. You want to get your lock down towards your chest, because that's where you're powerful and you can get the leg in a lot easier.
Under 40 seconds to go in the second period. Riding time not a factor for either wrestler. 8-0 the team score.
Finesilver on another deep shot here. He's going to the double, and you see Ward reaching through, grabbing that foot. It's a great technique to stop shots and score the 2 points yourself. He's got the ankle. He's trying to break Finesilver's lock so he can spin behind, but Finesilver, he's got kung fu grip on that leg.
Deja vu as Finesilver in on the shot. Ward grabs the ankle, eventually a stalemate, and you saw it play out again right there. 10 seconds to go in the second period. 1:49 up next. But not before we've got another period here in a close match at 1:41. Ward looking for win number 22 on the year. Finesilver trying to spring the upset. At 14-9, he will start down.
So he's going to look for a quick escape. Whittle that lead down to 1 and get a takedown of his own. That's blue steel over there.
So there you see that first 5 seconds. Finesilver up.
Ward able to counter his first move, but Finesilver, Ward's got that half tight waist tilt. He's got 2 near fall because he was able to hold for 2 swipes there.
Big time points for Joey Ward there. 5-1 the score. And now obviously Finesilver's got to go to plan B. That escape and takedown no longer going to do it. Ward is accruing riding time as well.
Yeah, so Ward's really good with that. He gets that tight waist and then the half. He rolls the guy through all the way to the other side and ends up with the guy on his back. And that was the swipes I was talking about. Ward dropping out of the leg. Every time he goes down, the ref immediately starts counting because that could be a stall call.
Ward keeping his foot inside the circle to allow the time to continue to run. 1:06 left, 5-1 the score.
As long as any part of either wrestler is still in bounds, the match is still in play. You could have a guy, you could pin a guy with both of you guys out of bounds if just your toe is in bounds.
48 seconds of riding time for Ward, so this is a really important exchange here. We'll see how Ward handles it.
Yeah, he goes straight for that tight waist and half every time. He uses it to stop the first guy's stand up or move there, and he's going to get the riding time up over a minute now. Finesilver needs to get the escape here, and he's got to get an escape. He's got to get a takedown and look for some near fall points.
And if you're Ward, you're sitting there going, if I can get a couple more near fall points, suddenly I'm turning a regular decision into a major and a bonus point for my team.
That's right.
Finesilver's in that really interesting spot now where you're probably no longer looking for the win. You're looking to avoid the major. Is that fair?
Yeah. And you're constantly looking to win, but in that's moved to the back of his mind. In the forefront, he's thinking, let's not give up the major. Keep the team points down to 3. Don't give him that extra point because in the end, that could win the match or lose the match.
In essence, 6-1 here for Ward. 4 seconds to go in this one, and Finesilver.
Little sit out, turn in.
That'll do little to change the result of the match, but it will change the final score. It looked like it was 5-2, plus the riding time, so maybe 6-2 of 50.
The riding time there, and in that match, it didn't really play an important role, but in some matches, riding time can give you a major, riding time can give you a tech fall, riding time can, give you a tie the match to send you into overtime or win the match for you if it's tied.
Troy Heilmann for North Carolina at 1:49, the redshirt junior. Strong win against the Cavaliers in their last duel. And a guy that, Coach Scott says, look, he started slow. If you take those out, he's probably ranked in the top 10 or 15 because he's wrestled that well as of late for the Blue Devils. Xaviel Ramos, bit of a tough year, and so certainly an opportunity for North Carolina that they might be looking for some bonus points in this situation.
Yeah, Heilmann's, he's always looking to get some bonus points, get a pin. Ramos, he's a tough guy. He's had a tough year. 149 is always one of the toughest weight classes in the country, I think. And he's fought well, he's wrestled well, and tonight he's looking to come out here and wrestle a match of his season and pick up a win here. Gets the escape, so it's 2-1 now in favor for UNC.
Heilmann 10-12 overall, but 7-5 in duels. Ramos is 3-14 on the year. Does have a win in dual match situations. You saw the foot of Heilmann come up just momentarily, and that was why the referee says, let's start again in the center, even though Heilmann's foot came back down inside the circle.
Yeah, open space doesn't count as inbound, so that's why he wasn't awarded the 2 points.
What makes 149 so difficult? You said it's one of the hardest weights.
It's right in the middle, so there's a lot of guys that in high school they, wrestled in around 150 or 145, and they all kind of congregate around that 149, and it just has every year. I don't know, it may have just been because that's my weight class, but every year you get a lot of really tough guys, and in the past there's been some excellent wrestlers at 149 with, Lance Palmer from Ohio State, Metcalf from Iowa, Darian Caldwell from NC State. There's always just really tough guys at 149 every year.
2-1 the score. Heilmann in front of Ramos here at 149. Fourth match of the evening. The first two at 25 and 33 going to the Blue Devils. Baumgartner getting the technical foul at 33. Turn 2 bonus points for Duke. And then Joey Ward getting Carolina on the board at 41. Heilmann in on another shot with 45 seconds to go in the first period, trying to get around.
Xavier's trying to
for the takedown.
He's trying to slink his leg out there, but now Heilmann's in so deep, he's up at the hip. Xavier's just trying to keep him from getting the control of his hips here. He gets the 2 there right on the edge because he was able to reach around and grab the other leg. Doesn't matter if you're grabbing on the torso, you have to get both legs to get control.
Coach Lanham wanting to talk to the officials. We'll see if we can figure out what that's about.
He's probably questioning the takedown there on the edge.
And so back to the center they head. 25 seconds to go in the first period. 32 seconds of riding time for Heilmann.
Xaviel stands up and is brought back down. Heilmann's tough on top. He rides really well. As you can see, we were saying you want to break your guy down, make him carry your weight, make him hold your weight. He's driving his hips into Xaviel's hips, which makes it almost impossible to come up. He's, kicking his arms out so that he can't push himself up there.
A solid first period for Heilmann, a 4-1 lead and 3 seconds away from the riding time point. He will start in the down position. Will Heilmann.
Now Xaviel's wanting to bring that riding time down because it was dangerously close to the 1 minute mark. And Xaviel he's tough on top because he's got those long limbs that we've seen for some of the wrestlers. Heilmann a little bit stockier. Does a Granby roll. Xaviel follows, but Heilmann, he gets that 2-point takedown. As you can see, at just a toe in bounds, but he's still able to get the 2-point takedown.
So 6-1 now, and they'll switch positions with Ramos down and Heilmann on top. 6-1 the score. Minute 35 to go in the second period. And now Heilmann will try to bring that riding time back up closer to a minute.
Heilmann goes with an optional start there, so a lot of times, cut him, give him a point, and then work for the takedown. A lot of guys do that to build up towards the majors and the tech falls, so that's what Heilmann probably has in mind here. He's in on a shot. Xaviel's fighting hard. Heilmann is very good. He gets the leg, and then he spins behind and sinks it in very quickly. He doesn't give the guy a chance to fight it. And he gets the takedown there and puts him up 8-2. Now he's working. He's going to let him up again, like I said, to try and accrue some takedowns.
Yeah, so this is where you start playing a few mind games too, because if you're Ramos, you kind of know what your opponent's doing. He's letting you up just so he can take you down again. I don't know how many times you found yourself in that position, but I imagine it's a tough spot mentally to be in as a wrestler.
Yeah, it's tough. I've never had someone do that to me. I don't.
I'm sure you've done it to people.
I have, yeah.
You're allowed to brag a little bit. That's fine.
I don't let people take me down very often.
So 35 to go here in the second period. That margin is still 5. They're going to call that takedown for Heilmann again. That's 2 more points. 10-3, 1 away from the major. But he does have the riding time. So should the match end now, it would be a major decision for North Carolina and a 4th team point.
He's got the chicken wing on his back there, and he's looking. You get the wrist, and then you come across and you hook it around the guy's neck, and then he's going to tilt him towards the right side there that arm is blocked.
He's going to do it. He's got to do it quick. 2 seconds to go in the period. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to pull that maneuver off, at least in the second period. As we head to the third, Heilmann in position for a major victory.
And Xaviel chooses down.
It'll be interesting to see what Heilmann decides to do. If he allows Ramos up, he moves out of sort of major victory territory, if you will. Obviously, you can take him down again and earn it back. So you wonder if he'll just try to ride him out in the third, or he'll let him up and maybe go for the takedown.
Yeah, so he's going to... Probably what he's going to do is try to get some near fall. He's got locks the cradle up here. A lot of times, if in the third period you've got the major kind of locked up, you'll look for near fall, look for the pin or the tech. If you can't, then you'll let him up, take him down again if you have the chance. Xaviel fights the cradle off there, preventing 4 potential near fall points.
You see Heilmann looking back at his coaches.
They're telling him to cut him, so letting him up. Xaviel turns in and grabs a leg, so he hasn't been awarded the 1-point escape just yet.
There it is.
There it is, yep.
10-4 the score now. Heilmann needs the takedown and gets it in order to get back into major territory.
They're telling him to cut him again, so they're wanting him to try and work now towards a technical fall with the takedowns, because it's essentially it's a 1-point exchange. Yep. You give them a point and you get 2.
That's a lot of ground to make up, though, with less than a minute. Is it not?
It is, and it's been done before. People... if you're a takedown artist, I've seen people pull it off.
So here's another takedown. 48 seconds to go. So long 48 seconds if you're Xaviel Ramos. 14-5 to score. 15-5 if you include the riding time. Ramos gets the point back for the quote-unquote escape. And now Heilmann back to work.
Now Xaviel's looking to defend here. Just not get taken down here at the end of the match. And also,
to say, if Ramos can somehow take down Heilmann, that would take away the major win and the bonus point for North Carolina. So still something to wrestle for from an offensive perspective if you're Ramos.
That's right, yeah. And he needs to fight hard here, because Heilmann's not gonna give up until he gets as many points as he can here.
Heilmann gets 2 more points, and with 5 seconds to go, it looks like it'll be...
Now the referee was swiping, because if you come up to the head and arm, again, it's 5 seconds to either improve to a tilt or move on to something else, or it's a stall call. Same concept as dropping down to the leg.
It's First Responders and Military Appreciation Night here at Duke. Blue Devils